Hello YouTube, Ultra Mega Mighty. You ever have one of those days? Like, bad day. Just bad damn day. You might, strangle a goat. Just because it's a goat. I hate goats. Why not? You want to strangle it. It's okay. It's a bad day. You can do that. Time to de-stress. Yeah.
It's not that kind of video.
With video games. Let's de-stress with video games. Let's do that mess right now. Now, here's a solid stress reliever. Good old Doom. Big bad daddy of first-person shooters. Can't go wrong there. One good slaughterfest, and I should be feeling like a new man. Okay, fine. So, Doom hasn't aged well. And I know plenty of fans will give me flack for this, but seriously, original Doom is kind of boring now. I mean, back in the day, it was huge. It was a killer app. Literally. Servers crashed from the multiplayer traffic. Controversy surrounded it for years. Bill fucking Gates used it to promote Windows 95. And for a long time after its release, the term first-person shooter was barely used. If it was a first-person shooter and it wasn't Doom, it was called a Doom clone. That's just how big this game was. And still is if you take a good long look at the modding community. And that brings us to the here and now. I like Doom, but it just isn't as exciting as it used to be for me. Maybe if it had just a little more... this. So much this. Just look at this. This mod is absolutely amazing. This brings me back to how I felt the first time I played Doom. This is bloody, relentless, maniacal, over-the-top violence. It's quite literally brutal. First thing I noticed were the difficulty settings. The names have been changed from the original, which were ambiguous, but fairly simple to figure out. With all the new ones that were added here, I had to select each one in both games to figure them out, which I shouldn't have to fucking do. It's not too horrible, though, since none of them respawn your enemies like Nightmare difficulty did, so silver linings and all that. So you start up the first episode, and the first real changes are immediately noticeable. Your starting weapon isn't a pistol anymore. Instead, you have an assault rifle. And it's about fucking time someone got that right. Most Marines aren't issued just a pistol, and even if they have one, they would usually have an assault rifle as well. This is probably one of the biggest weapon changes in the mod, and easily among the best. The assault rifle has an excellent rate of fire, does decent damage, is very accurate, and you can look down the sights to zoom in and make very long-range shots. Something else you'll notice is all but 2 of the weapons use magazines now, so you have to spend time reloading them. Now I'm using GZ Doom to run this, and for some reason it's not displaying the ammo count in the current magazine, but I know in Skulltag that showed up properly. I don't know if I fucked that up somehow, or if it's something with GZ Doom, but not being able to see that counter is a big damn problem for me. I've gotten myself in some seriously shitty situations because I was about to have to reload and didn't know it. That or I reloaded too early and wasted precious time reloading while demons were wasting precious my face all over the goddamn floor. So the assault rifle's great, but do the other weapons stack up also? Fuck yeah they do. Some are mostly unchanged, but they've all been tweaked to function in a more badass manner. They even sound more awesome. Several even have alternate fire modes that do something a little different, like the chain gun being able to stay spun up with an even greater rate of fire, but with some recoil and less accuracy. This mod makes the weapons feel powerful as fuck, and you're gonna need that. The enemies have gotten upgrades as well. Projectiles travel faster in general than in the original game, so they're harder to dodge now, and several enemies have gotten new moves or attacks that make them harder to deal with, on top of the fact that they attack more often than they did in Classic Doom. So even though your simplest weapons, like the assault rifle and shotgun, are useful pretty much all the way through the game, the low-level enemies are also tougher to balance things out. So rooms full of, you know, the low stuff like foreign humans, imps, demons, they're gonna have you spraying ammo like an idiot, just trying to stay alive. Because I mean, they're seriously gonna kick your ass if you're not paying attention. So even if you're pretty good at Doom, you're probably still gonna find yourself dying at least once somewhere if you're a little careless. You know, or you know, if the mod glitches out and a dead enemy kills you, which is actually a thing that can happen. Now, the other item pickups are pretty much unchanged except for the small health and armor pickups and the Berserk pack. The little health and armor pickups, which really look out of place in this game, by the way. I mean, seriously, a potion and a medieval helmet. The fuck is this? Camelot? Am I Arthur? Are you Merlin? Regardless. These things now give you 2 points toward their respective counter instead of the original 1. And they can break the 200 point cap, so you can actually reach some pretty high numbers on health and armor if you're good. Of course, getting cornered like a chump can make all that go away pretty fast. Then there's the Berserk pack. It's still just a Berserk pack, so, you know, what could you possibly upgrade with just a punch? I mean, it's just punching, right? Who's a man and a half? I'm a man and a half! There's nothing wrong with you that I can't fix with my hands! Rip and tear your guts! Don't need a gun! Guns are for wusses! And it never gets old. Tearing cacodemons in half, punching an imp's head into a fine red mist, pulling lost souls out of midair and throwing them at other enemies, ripping out a Baron of Hell's spine! This is just crazy good times. It's just simply amazing to run around and obliterate these fuckers with your bare hands. And it's not even a simple punch anymore. You can use both fists and a kick, all of which can be chained together in combos or used on their own for little special moves. My personal favorite is nut-shotting Barons of Hell. Stuns them.
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
Now, by this point, I'm sure you've seen the insane amount of blood and gore all over the place. That's the other key part of Brutal Doom being so damn brutal. Blood and body parts just everywhere. Every fucking where. Brains on the ceiling, legs and arms flying off in random directions, guts splattering nearby walls, bloody chunks raining everywhere. You want a stress reliever? There you go. You dismember a few dozen zombies and imps with a chain gun, that certainly puts a smile on my face. Strangely enough, though, this can actually lead to problems with the first-time players or even Doom veterans that are unfamiliar with certain levels. The blood and gore can cover switches and make them almost impossible to find. But, fortunately, that's a fairly rare occurrence. And at this point, I do need to mention one more mod that is highly recommended to be used with Brutal Doom, and that's Doom Metal Volume 4. This is a full soundtrack from various artists that have completely redone the soundtrack for Doom and Doom 2 in a fashion that fits much better with the game's new aesthetic. I know it's hard to hear over all my blabbing, but really, when you're causing this level of mayhem, would you rather be listening to this? Or this? This or this. And that's just two examples. There are lots of awesome tracks in here. If you run Brutal Doom, you seriously need this mod, or at least one like it, but there are others. But so far, this is about the best one that I've seen. Now that's it for the mods. So, what about the game itself? At its core, Doom is still a great game, although the level design's a bit weird. See, up until Quake 2, its games focused more on spectacle than really anything else. Look what our engine can do, you stupid fucks! As such, while the level designs are clever and pretty well done, they all could have easily been named in numerical order, like Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, instead of Hangar, Nuclear Plant, and Toxin Refinery, because most of them have really, like, no resemblance to what they actually are at all. Episode 4 doesn't even bother. It's got names like Perfect Hatred, Against Thee Wickedly, and Unto the Cruel. How the fuck would you enter that into a GPS? Okay, so, the risk-reward factor for most of the game is pretty straightforward and fair. Even with the brutal mod, there are enough health, armor, and ammo pickups strewn about to at least keep you alive, for the most part, as long as you're not playing on one of the stupid, crazy hard difficulties. And that's despite the difficulty spikes that you get hit with going from episode to episode. Even those really aren't too bad, since you're still given weapons and ammo at a decent enough rate to become your own walking arsenal pretty early on. Again, if you're getting better as you progress. Unfortunately, this is not true of the 4th episode, Thy Flesh Consumed. That's a pretty accurate title because that episode ate the entirety of my fucking face. It was made after Doom 2 and is crazy, stupid, fuck you hard. The levels in that episode have no problem throwing you against seriously tough enemies in close quarters that you barely have enough ammo to deal with, and the risk-reward balance is right out the fucking window. Now, the first level, on full Ultra Violence difficulty, doesn't even have a medkit anywhere that I remember seeing, and there are 6 Barons of Hell on that level. Fucking 6. Great fucking design, guys. Make a level so tough that I basically have to ignore fuckers just to conserve ammo. And they practically have a fetish for damaging floors in this one. Lava, can't get enough of that shit. Radioactive waste, bathe me in it! Blood, is that blood? I'm not even sure if that's blood, but fuck you, it hurts and you're gonna swim in it because we hate you! And there's not even an original boss at the end of this torture palace of an episode. It's just another spider mastermind. But you know what? Despite all that, the Ultimate Doom is still a damn good game. And an absolute masterpiece with these mods. If you haven't played Doom in a long time, or even if you've never played it and you enjoy first-person shooters, I would highly recommend this to anyone that doesn't mind a bit of over-the-top violence. Now, also know that the Brutal mod works with other mods. I'm just not sure how well. So, if you're looking to expand your Doom experience further, there's a literal fuck-ton of WADs up there that you can play. And there's a video on YouTube with a title something like Top 10 Doom WADs or something like that. Look that up, and it'll actually give you an example of some pretty amazing work. Play the shit out of it, play it till you're dead, play it until you're bones and dust and whatever, because it's fucking great. You better do it. I'll come to your house. I know where you live. That's right, Billy. I've been watching you. One final note that I should probably add. As Marines are known to do, the player has at his disposal some taunts. It might be in your best interest to not piss off the Cypher Demon. Because reasons. Just saying. And that's it for Ultimate Doom. I'll be back next week, looking into Brutal Doom 2. Good times ahead. Next time.